Hey, I'm Marcus, and I'd like to thank you for watching the first episode of the Culinary Cantina, a new show put on by Nerd Life Productions. Now, in the Culinary Cantina, I'm going to prove that anyone can make simple, cheap, and easy to make dishes. And the best thing about the Culinary Cantina is that I have no professional culinary training. So that means that if I can make these dishes, I guarantee you can too. This week, we're going to tackle the frittata. Now, the frittata isn't a well-known dish in North America. It usually gets overshadowed by the omelet. But I want to show that the frittata is a diverse dish that can be eaten for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. On today's show, we're going to make a breakfast frittata, but at the end of the episode, we're going to give you recipes for all three meals. So buckle up, because this week on the Culinary Cantina, we're making fantastic frittatas. So the great thing about the frittata is that you can use anything in your fridge to make it delicious. Today, I have 7 ingredients, and really, out of the 7, only 2 are required. So we have some olive oil, that's what's going to line our pan. We have eggs, and those are the 2 required ingredients. That's all you need to make a frittata. But today, because I want to make a breakfast frittata, I have a green pepper from my garden, a potato to give it a little bit of hash in the bottom, some leftover ham from dinner a couple nights ago, some great baby portobello mushrooms, and an onion. This is a sweet onion, which I prefer at breakfast. Now, people always say, like, Marcus, do you really want to have onions for breakfast? And my argument is, you're going to brush your teeth after, so why worry about it? The onion tastes great. It's a great flavor in the morning, so we're going to put it in. And I will say about the mushrooms, please, 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 don't buy white mushrooms. They don't have the flavor, and it's just, spend the extra 50 cents and get the baby portobellos. They have a lot of really great flavors in them. But that's all you need for the breakfast frittata. This, a bowl for mixing, a cutting board for cutting, and a fry pan. And that's it. So this is the ingredients for our breakfast frittata. We're going to get them chopped up, and then we're going to show you how to cook it. So the first thing we're going to chop up here is our pepper. And I just like to take the top of my pepper right off, like that. And then I half it again. And what that does is it lets me get all of this stuff from the inside that I don't want and just kind of carve it out real quick. Now the key is you don't really want any seeds from your pepper in your frittata, or really in your dish in general, especially with green peppers. They don't really have that great of a flavor to them. Now if I was using habaneros here, I might want to actually keep some of those seeds because it's going to increase the spiciness factor. The same goes with jalapenos. So I'm just going to chop these 2 guys here, give them another half, and we're good to go. Now, I'm not going to use the full green pepper on this frittata. I think it might be a little overpowering. I'm only using 6 eggs. Now, if I was making a larger frittata and maybe I had a larger dish, then I could increase the pepper. Just doing a smaller one today, I'm going with half. Now, with green peppers, the one thing in most vegetables you need to realize is that they're going to shrink. So while you might have a large amount of vegetables when you start, towards the end, it'll be pretty manageable. So I think half a pepper is just going to work out great. All right, so there's my pepper, nice big chunks. I'm not a firm believer in chopping everything real small. A, it's actually get a bite. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do these mushrooms real quick. Again, nothing too small because A, it's gonna shrink, and B, this isn't some like high French restaurant. This is just you and your house. Now, I learned to cook frittatas when I was actually backpacking in Europe. I was at a hostel in Switzerland, and they had an open kitchen, which was pretty cool. And a girl that I was interested in at the time was Italian, and she taught me how to make frittatas. So ever since then, I've been pretty addicted to them. So we have that, the potato. Now, one thing about the potato is it's going to take longer than any other ingredient to cook. So I popped this one in the microwave for 5 minutes to kind of cheat a little bit. I do think it has a better flavor if you start from the beginning in the fry pan. For the sake of time, if you want to save it a little bit, pop it in the microwave, 5 minutes, it'll really increase your cooking time. If not, the potato's going to take way longer than everything else to cook. So I'm just going to give it a nice rough chop. This is what we want. And while it's a little gooey now, it'll definitely crisp up in the fry pan. So there's that. My ham is already chopped. And the onion, while it's one of my favorite food groups, is also a little bit of my kitchen nemesis. Because there's a 50% chance, I'll tell you right now, that once I start cutting into this onion, I will cry. Not just cry, I will weep. So if that happens, we're just going to pretend that I'm watching The Notebook, and everyone will think that I'm a pretty sensitive guy. But other than that, let's see how this goes. I'm going to guess you're going to start seeing some tears. So I'm gonna take this top part off. That's not really any good. Throw it in my scrap pile. I really only need a quarter, so we're gonna half it. Oh yeah. Here they go. And I'm gonna half it again. Yeah, that'll be right about the amount there. Put this like that. We're just gonna start taking little sections of onion off. I'm just really happy that this episode's getting filmed. That's why I'm so emotional right now. We've been talking about doing Culinary Cantina for about a year now. And so, yeah, I'm just getting a little sentimental. I've heard that there are some remedies for this. I really just kind of suck it up and cook it. All right, so we have our scraps over here. Those are gonna go back in the fridge for stock. Ham's already cooked. I have my onions, potatoes, mushrooms, peppers. So these are our base ingredients for the frittata. So now we're gonna do the eggs. So for this frittata, I'm only using 6 eggs. You can go up to 8. I just find that with the pan I use for frittatas, 6 is the perfect amount. So it's something you're gonna want to experiment with a little at home. That being said, I have a couple different sized pans here that can go into the oven. So I can make anything up from a 4 frittata egg to a 12. It really depends on how many people I have coming over. Today, it's me and our film crew, which is 3. So I have 4 people. I'm gonna use a 6 egg frittata. So I have an egg. You know, I try to buy organic eggs whenever I can. It's kind of a price thing. If you don't buy organic eggs, it's not the end of the world, but I think they have a little better flavor. So there's that, and we're gonna take it, 6 eggs in the bowl, start whisking. Now, one thing I think people do is they over whisk their eggs, and it kind of makes for a, I don't know, just not a very textured frittata. So just give them a quick beat. You don't need to sit here for a half hour into like perfect consistency. Just give them a whisk. Also, guys, in your bachelor pad, one thing you need is a whisk. They're like $3 at your supermarket. Just go pick one up. We're gonna be using them a lot on the Culinary Cantina. You're gonna want one, grab a whisk. All right, so here are my eggs. You can see it's kind of a mixture of yellow. There's a little bit of yolk. I could sit here all day and get a perfect consistency, but honestly, once we throw it in the oven, it's all gonna even out anyways. So, our vegetables are chopped, our meat's ready to go, our eggs are in. Let's head over to the fry pan. So one thing you need to absolutely make sure when you're making a frittata is that your pan is oven safe. This one is. It wasn't a terribly expensive pan, but you can see one of the big trends right now in fry pans is that they'll have that rubber or plastic handle coating. If you put that in the oven, it will melt, it will burn, you will get on YouTube, you will yell at me. That's not what I want. So make sure that there is no rubber or plastic on your fry pan. This one's good to go. So we're gonna put it down and we're gonna turn our heat onto medium. I'm a firm believer of cooking low and slow. If you really need to rush this, you can crank the heat up, but you're just gonna risk burning it. Now, like I said, we want our frittata to come out in one solid cake. So I'm gonna take some olive oil and just line my pan and make sure I get a good coat to both put on the vegetables and make sure we're not gonna stick. So I'm just gonna roll that around the edges because this frittata is gonna rise up. There we go. Perfect. All right, pan's ready to go. You can see I have a nice coat of olive oil around the edges. The bottom's completely covered. We're ready for the vegetables. Like I said, if you're not gonna microwave your potato beforehand, put it in now and give it about 10 minutes before you add your other vegetables. It's gonna take a while to break down that starch. But I cheated, so I'm still gonna put my potato in first because I wanna get a nice crunchy layer on the bottom of it. Just like that. Perfect, and I'm gonna let that cook for just a couple minutes. So now that my potatoes have had a little chance to get nice and brown on the bottom, you can see they're spitting a little bit, I'm gonna add my other vegetables. In go the onions, so I can stop crying. There we go. Let's get all of it in there, no need to waste. Peppers next, they're gonna take a bit to cook. And then I like to put my mushrooms on top so they don't shrink too much. Give it a shake. All right, and we're gonna let this sit. Just walk away, go get a drink. If you're me, have 2. And let some of the steam work its magic, break down some of the fibers of the veg, and then we're gonna give it a flip. So my vegetables have had some time to cook. You can see the mushrooms are browning nicely. Again, don't overcook your vegetables. They're just gonna be dry. No one's gonna wanna eat that. But my ham is already cooked. And the reason I didn't put it in with the vegetables earlier is because I don't want it to get dehydrated and hard. But now's a good time, so I'm gonna add my ham. And one thing I will say is that you can see that there's a really nice color combo going on in this pan. And I'm a firm believer that eating touches all of your senses, from hearing the pan sizzle, to the smell, the taste, and looking down at your meal. We're gonna have some really nice yellow, some red from the ham, some green from the peppers, browns, whites. It's gonna have a really nice aesthetic look. So that's something to kind of keep in mind when you're making food, is how's it gonna look. So we're gonna give it a toss, put this ham down for about a minute, minute and a half, then we're gonna dump the eggs in. Put our eggs in, what we wanna do is push down all of our veg that might be on the lip, because we wanna have a really nice, clean surface for that frittata edge to go on. And then I've kind of spread things out so it's evenly distributed. You want people to get a little bit of everything in their bites. Other than that, our heat's good. We're gonna add the egg evenly over the top, just like that. Oh, beautiful. All right, give it a quick stir. Hit those edges one more time. It's really important to keep the edges of your frittata as clean as possible. It's a little high there, let's spread it out. And there's a little wiggle room time, no worries if you need to readjust. Beautiful. Now, this is the best part of making a frittata. Step away. Minute and a half, 2 minutes, let a nice crust form on the bottom and on the edges, just step away. Get another drink? I know I'm gonna. All right, so as you can see, the edges are nicely cooked. I have a little bit of wet egg on the top. I'm just gonna run my spatula across the edge of the frittata, and that's gonna make sure it's gonna come out nice and clean. And it's also gonna show me where I might need to put a little bit more olive oil. But other than that, the frittata is ready to go into the oven. The oven's preheated, so here we go. So you have between 2 and 3 minutes that you want to leave your frittata in the oven. And I'm telling you now, watch it like a hawk. Because it seems that there's about a 10-second difference between having a perfect frittata and a burnt frittata. And that burnt flavor will go throughout the entire egg dish. So just get down on your knees, watch it for a while, open up the oven if you need to. I have found that doesn't really affect the puffiness or the density of the dish. And you just turn it, watch it, give it love, 2 to 3 minutes. So it's been a couple minutes, and here we go. Oh, look at that. It's just stunning. Lots of really great color. Green, red, yellow. Potatoes are on the top. You can see the mushrooms. This bad boy is ready to plate. So we're just going to take our spatula, the one we used earlier, and again, run around the edge of the frittata. Break off any stickiness we might have. Because from an aesthetic standpoint, it's just really nice to have the full cake. There we go. That sounds good. All right, so the frittata is out of the oven and it looks amazing, just like a pizza, and that's how we're gonna cut it. I like to serve them in triangles, so I'm going to plate up for 2 here, just like that. That. Perfect. There's one. Take the second guy here. And you want to make sure, like I said the last time, that you get a little bit of everything in these slices. Perfect. So I like to take that, some of that olive oil we use, just give it a light run over. It's going to make it really nice and moist. Hit it with some salt, a little bit of pepper. Cool. Now this looks kind of plain and it's breakfast time, so I want to add something else. So I'm going to show you now how to make a really simple, sweet little side dish. Alright, so we're going to make a little side dish. I have a banana. I think, 1 banana every 2 people is fine. Just going to peel it. Like that. Cut little ends off because they're gross. I know someone online right now is probably going to be like, that's the most nutritious part of the banana. We're just going to chop it. Perfect. Take my plate here. Get myself a nice little run of banana. Just like that. Kind of fan them out. There we go. Just like that. So we're going to put some honey on the top. We don't want it to be too sweet because the banana already has some sweetness to it. We're going to take a little bit of cinnamon. Again, not too much. Cinnamon's a pretty powerful spice. Hit the top just like that. Boom! Breakfast. Quick, easy, simple, fantastic frittata.
pretty tasty. I like the green peppers.
Yeah.
You know, all together, it pretty much tastes just like it smells. Pretty good.
Yeah. What do you think, Big Willie style? Oh, you haven't even dug in yet.
I know, I'm trying the bananas, dude. These are good. I've never thought about doing this, man. I love bananas, so this is good, man. I love bananas.
Yeah. Jake, what are your thoughts, man?
Good texture, good mixture of ingredients, perfect storm of flavor. That's what I say.
Perfect. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
The potatoes are cooked just right too. You know?
Right. No, I like to hit them in the microwave. It kind of makes them soft but crunchy. Cool. Well, these guys like it. We're going to eat some frittata, and then it's game day, so we're going to go watch some football. So make sure you tune in next time at Culinary Cantina. I do like the bananas.
These are good.
No.